We are back. Welcome. We're gonna play Trophy. We're raising money for Blount Pride. It is the Pride organization for Blount County, Tennessee. That is the county that me and Shannon live in, and a bunch of other folks are related to. Is a small rural city here, or rural county here in Tennessee. We're putting on a Pride event. Trying to get some community education and solidarity going here. But turns out Prides, they're fucking expensive. God damn, are they expensive. So Pride, it needs money. Cold hard goddamn fucking cash.
Rainbows are expensive, Brian.
What?
Rainbows are expensive. You have to pay for them.
God, like, you wouldn't even believe.
Police presence.
Ooh.
Yeah. Boom. That's how much money we have. 380. Let's just get that. All I want to do is get that to 400, audience. And then I'll feel good about the evening. Wouldn't it be dope if we got it higher, though? But let's get to 400. We're playing Trophy.
Yep.
Danielle, would you like to give us a quick rundown of Trophy?
Yeah. Trophy, we're playing specifically Trophy Dark. It is a game by Jesse Ross. It is a collaborative storytelling horror game about a group of treasure hunters on a doomed expedition into a landscape that doesn't want them there. The game tells the story of the physical and mental descent of the treasure hunters as they move deeper and deeper into the dangerous landscape. Their journey will ultimately bring them to their destination that holds the treasure that they seek, and also the monstrous entities which now dwell there. This is not a hopeful story of brave and daring adventurers slaying dragons and dragging bags of gold with them back to town. This is a horror story of entitled pillagers meeting tragic ends. It is very likely that all the treasure hunters will die, or at best be permanently scarred and haunted by their expedition.
Yeehaw!
We are specifically playing the incursion written for Trophy Dark called Devil Aim for Me by Michael Van Vliet. I will post the link to the itch in the chat because I didn't pull it up beforehand because I'm a professional. And Devil Aim for Me is kind of got a Wild West flavor to it, as you can tell by the fact that we are all wearing cowboy hats.
Not in real life. I'm not wearing a cowboy hat right now.
Shannon, we said we would wear cowboy hats.
I'm sorry.
Good money on that hat.
Sorry.
Playing with me today, we have Brian.
Yo, it's your boy, it's Brian. I use he, him pronouns. I have @RoomWarePod on Twitter locked the fuck down. Are we talking about characters or are we just doing intros?
Just intros.
Just intros. Well, that's it.
Okay. And Shannon.
Shannon, I use she, her pronouns, and you can find me on Twitter at Big Mom Energy.
And special guest Katie.
Hey everybody, I'm Katie. I use she, they pronouns, and you can find me on Twitter at KatieFace.
And I'm Danielle. I've been here all day. You can find me on the internet at RedTailTalk90. Our lines, which are things we absolutely do not want to see, are racism, sexism, transphobia, homophobia, anti-Semitism, violence against children or animals, sexual assault, domestic violence or intimate partner violence, emotional abuse, self-harm, suffocation, drowning, and claustrophobia. Our veils, which are things we're okay with including but won't leave the camera on, are steamy situations, terminal illness, pandemics, and depression. Now, as this is a horror game, allow me to go over some content warnings. Content warnings for this game include body horror, descriptions of bodily harm, unreality, guns and gun violence, alcohol use/abuse, fire/burning, and strike breaking. So be mindful of those if they are objectionable to you. So let me read the introduction, and then we will get to characters. The West is no more wild and untamed than any other part of the world, really. There's an order here, but to those trundling westward in covered wagons, on foot or on horseback, displacing natives in order to farm, homestead, or pan for gold, the West seems wild because they don't yet know the forces at play. Exploited men arrived first, searching for work. Women came next, exploiting different resources, and towns sprung up around their efforts. And then came the grifters, the disaffected. Those who require a population large enough to disappear in, and a land where a bit of treasure can keep one beyond the grasp of gods and masters. For a while, anyway. So, with that, let us meet our grifters. Starting again with Brian.
Yeah, it's your boy. Hold on one second. I got it. Shh, calm down.
We're calm.
Yeah, okay. So, I am playing everybody's favorite sad cowboy, No Merit Vernal. My occupation is the Drifter. Hold on a second. Let me pull the thing back up. What does that mean? It's fun. Where was character creation at? Oh, it's further down. There we go. So yeah, I'm the Drifter. I am skilled in loneliness, whistling, and hiding.
Jesus.
My background is pamphleteer. I'm skilled in rabble rousing. And my drives are to prove that the boss is an outdated concept like the Divine Right of Kings. I have 3 abilities. Lead touch. I can immobilize something or someone with a bullet. First out the holster. Be the first to act in a dangerous situation. And standoff. Keep the peace as long as eye contact is maintained.
All right.
That's No Merit. He's back. He's back, baby. He is a tall. For people who don't know him, I guess he's as tall and skinny as other dudes are wide and tall. He just grows in proportion to another man. He's like long, skinny, tall fella. He's I think in this particular setting, he's wearing just like dungarees, cowboy boots. He's got like a denim jacket with like the fleece, just a wide brimmed hat. Not necessarily like a traditional cowboy hat, but just kind of like a wide brimmed hat. And he carries a couple of guns on him. Like one side is like a Colt Peacemaker, it's the Clint Eastwood gun from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's that gun, and the other one's like a Single Action Army, which is like your traditional like cowboy revolver.
Mm-hmm.
So that's No Merit. He's here. What's up?
Word. And going in call order, Katie.
I'm playing Philomena Rourke, who uses she, her pronouns. Her occupation is grifter. She is skilled in misdirection, gambling, and charm. Her background is a disgraced apothecarist, so she's skilled in medicine. Her drive is to find a town where no one knows you or what you've done and start over. And my myth ability is the Gila Monster's gift. I can weep blood to intimidate or disorient others.
It's messed up.
I saw it and I had to have it.
Excellent.
I think she carries to go with the disgraced apothecarist. Just for flavor, I really think that she has like a holster, like a thigh holster of different sort of sedatives in syringes.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's her whole thing.
Alrighty. And Shannon.
Hi. I am playing a character that I whipped up in 5 minutes today to fill in.
All the better.
Yeah. So you all are discovering her at exactly the same time as I am. Her name is Tenacity Deaver. Tina for short. She, her pronouns. Her occupation is buffalo hunter, so she's skilled in hunting, tracking, and long shots. Background is petty criminal, so she is skilled in opportunism. Her drive is to prove to her now dead father that they raised a real rattlesnake. Woohoo. And her becoming a myth abilities are Brother Coyote's gifts. She can track stuff by smell. And Sky knows the way. Use the sun or stars to navigate accurately. So I think that she is carrying a long rifle. Brian, you know the Western guns. What's a long rifle?
Like a lever action carbine?
Sure. Something that you would use for hunting from long distances, sure. And she's probably also got a machete.
I mean, there's also just straight up like a buffalo rifle, which is like just a long barrel, high caliber rifle.
Sure, let's go with that. And a machete.
All right. So the way that trophy works, there are 5 rings. And as you increase in rings, you descend deeper into this hell that we are going to make together. Whenever you are trying to do something risky, you are going to make a risk roll. To make a risk roll, you roll 1d6. That's it. You may choose to accept a devil's bargain to get 1 more d6. And if you're willing to risk your character's mind and body in order to succeed, you may add a dark die. If it's standard Blaze in the Dark rules, if you roll a 6, you succeed. If you roll less than a 6, you're going to have some consequences. If, for some reason, your dark die is your highest die, and it is also higher than your current ruin score, then it also counts as a ruin roll. A ruin roll occurs at any point in the game when your character encounters something awful, disturbing, terrifying, any of those good horror things. You roll 1 dark die for your ruin roll, and if that die is higher than your current ruin score, then you increase your ruin by 1. If your ruin ever reaches 6, you are subsumed by the landscape, and you are no longer in control of yourself. If you reach 5, once you reach 5 ruin, you may begin to attempt to decrease your ruin score by sabotaging your, they're not teammates so much as traveling companions. Where if you sabotage your traveling companions, you may reduce your ruin by 1. So, are there any questions about the mechanics? We'll go over them as we encounter them as well, but up front.
Cool. No, I think it makes sense to me.
Okay. Yeah, you'll have to explain it 50 more times for me, so it's fine.
Basically, think Blades in the Dark, but you only get 1 die. All right. So, let me scroll down to where things start. All right. In recent weeks, belts have been tightened and meals skipped, with good paid work as rare as hen's teeth. You're part of a motley crew, short on cash and in town looking for opportunity, when you see ahead of you the sheriff is hammering a dead or alive poster outside their office. On the poster, as you get closer, you see the sneering likeness of the outlaw Henry Bantam. He is worth a fortune, dead or alive. The problem is Henry Bantam is an infamous bank robber and noose dodger. They say that Bantam was shot dead outside of Elksville, and a lightning strike knocked him right back to his feet alive again. They say Bantam's boots melted and the bullets ran out the holes in his chest like prairie dogs fleeing a flooded burrow. It's 'cause Bantam went down to the crossroads, they say. Made a deal. Gave up something awful powerful in exchange for the fastest gun, for uncanny luck, for eyes in the back of his head. They say a lot of things. As you're standing around the poster, the three of you, you hear the crowd around you kind of gathering, and as they come near you, or come towards the poster, they actually kind of give you a wide berth, and you get more than one set of very dirty looks thrown your way. And I think one man actually spits at your feet, and he says, grifters like you ain't welcome here. You best get along.
Excuse me, sir, but these boots are decidedly almost brand new, so I would respect that you keep your spit to yourself.
I think he turns to face you. This dude is like, he's a big motherfucker, but like, he doesn't look, he looks threatening in the way that like a mean old drunk at a bar looks threatening.
Is this the sheriff who hammered up the sign?
This is not the sheriff. This is just one of the people in the crowd. But this man does have a gun on his hip, and he puts his hand on his gun. And he says, don't take kindly to backtalk, neither.
You must not ever had a conversation with anyone then. I think I just go up to further explore the poster.
Mm-hmm.
I pay him no mind anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tina takes a long sniff.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, you sure ain't friends with, I don't know, a bath, I guess. That's why I don't like sleeping in towns anyway. Too many odors. You know what I mean?
I think this person is not very used to people talking back to him, and he kind of gapes after the two of you. As you look at this poster, oh fuck, I need your character names.
How did you forget mine?
I know yours. Okay. We got Philomena, No Merit, and Tessa. Not Tessa. Fuck. Tina.
Tenacity.
Yeah.
Tenacity Tina.
I'm typing him in chat so I don't fucking forget him. Okay. So, Philomena, tell me, what sort of eyes does Bantam have? What desert-dwelling animal's eyes do they resemble? What is the smallest creature he'd be able to see crawling across the desert on a moonless night and still hit with a bullet like it was nothing?
I think he has like those desert fox eyes. So they're very dark but alert. Mm-hmm. I mean, clearly the poster isn't moving, but like you could almost imagine them like flitting around, watching everything around.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely think that he is good enough to hit a iguana like from a good distance away. I don't know anything about guns and shooting, so I know nothing about that.
It doesn't matter. Just say something ridiculous.
Yeah, he can
1,000 yards. That's just how.
He can take down an iguana from 1,000 yards.
Yeah. This man is a folk legend. Yeah, so I think as you kind of walk up, you get the eerie sense that the poster is watching you. And when you kind of look a little closer, you can tell that just the way that it has been drawn, it looks like no matter what direction you're looking at the poster from, it looks like the eyes are on you.
That's creepy.
Isn't it?
Love that.
Tina,
Yes.
when Bantam robs a bank, he always leaves a sign that it was him. What is it, and how do mothers replicate the appearance of this sign to their misbehaving children, threatening that Bantam will carry the children off and make them join his gang?
Ooh.
Oh, is he like the Foot Clan from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1?
I
No.
don't know what that is.
You have not seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, Danielle?
I have not. Or if I
own it
did,
on
it's been forever.
Laserdisc.
You own quite a few things on Laserdisc.
Yeah, but it's like the most important one. Well, that and the Star Wars movie.
Uh-huh.
Oh, how awful is it okay to get?
As awful within our lines.
Okay. So like unaliving somebody is a thing that
Yes.
we're okay.
Murder is fine.
You'd be committing some. So.
Okay, so his last name is Bantam.
Like the rooster.
Yeah. Yeah, but it would be too goofy if we riffed on the rooster.
Mm. You say that.
Oh, really?
I am not above making cock jokes.
Do you think I can't make a rooster fucking creepy, Shannon?
Okay, okay, fine. Here's what we're gonna do. He carries rooster feet with the spurs with him.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll like when he kills somebody he'll always kill somebody when he robs a bank, right?
Mhm.
And he like he stabs them with one of the rooster feet somewhere and just leaves
Mhm.
it.
Mm.
Leaves it
That's
there.
so gnarly. I love it.
Yeah.
Isn't it gross? And so the
So
mothers in town, they oh gosh, they like when they have to you don't often have to kill a rooster.
Mm-hmm. Can't necessarily trust children to know the difference between chicken feet and rooster feet.
Right, right. So whenever they kill a chicken, they like take the feet and make them into like a charm,
Mm-hmm.
and hang them out front of the door to keep him away.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the houses have like these like chains of chicken feet down the front of the door.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's real gross.
Yeah.
Oh.
Brian, what is No Merit doing in this crowd?
I think No Merit is, he's No Merit in about, as he do. I think what he is primarily doing is he's hanging back near I think he's just off to the side. He's inspecting the wanted poster. But I think more importantly, like No Merit is... I think No Merit's like scoping out the sheriff, and also like, has this town been robbed yet, or is this like a preemptive, we gotta stop him before he strikes again deal?
I don't think this town has been robbed, but I think that like one of the towns just over, like just yonder, has been robbed, and so this is like a poster that's been put up in every town in the area.
Okay. I think primarily what No Merit is doing is he's like reverse casing the joint. He's like, all right, So if I was a criminal, which I definitely ain't, I ain't this kind of criminal at least. Where would I be? Like, where are my lines of attack? Who would I send? He's looking for somebody who's looking at the bank. Like somebody who's maybe trying to, because obviously this motherfucker ain't gonna be showing up to do the robbing or to do the casing himself. He's too big of a personality, too familiar of a face to be able to do this. So he's got to be sending somebody to do it, and likelihood is, he's gonna be moving in a chain. Ain't no reason not to.
All right. As you are thinking about this and like how Bantam would send his gang to case a town before a robbery, your hand drifts to the gun at your hip, unconsciously, because you've heard stories of Bantam. And you've heard stories of Bantam's gun. What is the name of Bantam's gun? What sets this gun apart from any other? Who told you about the gun and the dark infinity of its barrel, unsure why they alone were allowed to live?
I think Bantam calls his gun. One second.
He calls his gun Big Boy because he's
Christ.
compensating for something. That's also why he calls himself a rooster. Listen, the time is swiftly approaching when we will not be able to think that this is funny anymore. So I'm getting it while I can. All right.
I don't know. I will honestly. I'm 12 years old on the inside. I'll think this is funny until the end of time.
I mean, sure, but once it turns horror-y, it's distress noises.
Yeah, we'll just call it that. I think he calls his gun the devil, right? So the devil makes him do it. Makes him do all these terrible things. And I think I think No Merit heard the story from like an older rancher who his settlement got hit, and he ended up losing just about everything, his family included, but him, right? And he was left behind. He's not 100% sure, but his assumption is, or he didn't really have an assumption, but No Merit kind of parsed it out himself. That you can't grow legend if nobody survives. So he was intentionally left alive to continue to spread the,
spread the good word of our Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heaven, thank you for that donation. I'm definitely going to use it to sow a little chaos, but you let me know if you want any specific chaos. All right. So, as Tina and Philomena are looking at the poster, and as No Merit is kind of reverse casing the town and also keeping an eye on the sheriff's office, No Merit, you see first a huge person, and the person from earlier, the man from earlier who was an asshole, he looked like, your big burly town mean drunk, right?
Right.
This guy who's coming out of the sheriff's office now looks like a fucking tank. He is very tall and very large, muscular, looks like he fucking bench presses cows for a living. And as he's coming out of the doorway of the sheriff's office, he is thumbing through a stack of cash that is thicker than your fist. And it's all $100 bills. And as he leaves the sheriff's office, he tips his hat to the sheriff and says, "Happy to oblige." And as he smiles, you can see that some of his teeth are gold. The man gets to his horse, which, like, this horse looks like the best cared for horse you've seen in your goddamn life. For some reason, the horse's hair is like gleaming and shining, and it doesn't have any fucking right to be that pretty out in a town as dusty as this. And yet, the crowd kind of gives him a big space and a quiet respect as he moves to the horse and mounts it, and kind of tips his hat again to the crowd and leads his horse away. That could be you if you get this bounty. That could be your future. A stack of bills as thick as your fist. Respect of these townsfolk. The sheriff looks out over the assembled crowd and he says, "All right, either come in to ask about the bounty or get on with your lives. No loitering."
Philomena is going to just sort of look around and see who's dispersing and who isn't. And then sort of pull her hat a little lower over her hair and go into the sheriff's office.
Mm-hmm.
I think No Merit does the same, sort of like, adjusting his jacket, making himself look slightly more proper and doing the same.
Mm-hmm.
Tina puts her rifle over her shoulder and just kind of saunters in.
Mm-hmm. None of the townsfolk seem particularly interested in risking their lives, even as high as this bounty is. So, although a couple of the men kind of posture as if and speak as if, I could go after that, and then they're like, but fucking Karen wants me back at home by dinner, and I gotta take care of the kids, and doing that kind of mumbling thing where they're justifying the reason why they're not being all big and macho, the toxic masculinity thing. But they all kind of drift away. The sheriff looks up at you three as you enter, and he says, "All right, got ourselves a few bounty hunters." And he kind of gets a piece of paper and he starts to draw a map. And he says, Bantam robbed a town not far out from here just a few days ago. And after that, he fled up towards the mountains. And he draws you a map of the lands around here, up to the mountain range, which the locals call the Horns. And he points out at the base of the mountains is the El Dorado Pit, which is an abandoned mining camp. And that whole area has got a bunch of dig sites, any of which could be a perfect bandit hideout. And all of our intel points to him and his gang going there. It's a few days ride away, and we don't know exactly where in this area he'd be. But hey, if you bring him in, dead or alive, don't fucking matter, we will make you rich. And he says the name of the bank. SunTrust is funding the bounty.
Good old SunTrust.
Great.
And the dollar amount that he names, even split 3 ways, is enough to settle.
No, actually, SunTrust Bank is 131 years old. So it could easily be SunTrust Bank.
Lord.
Good. The dollar amount that he states is more than enough to solve most of your problems and settle most of your debts. It is more than you could make without robbing a bank yourself. Even split 3 ways. And he says, all right, head towards the town of Resurrection. They might be able to give you some more information about where he went. And good fucking luck.
We don't get some sort of advance, for going after him in the first place.
He laughs, and he says, "Ma'am, I have offered a bounty to many a bounty hunter in my days. Do you know how many have come back with Bantam?"
Well, I'm assuming 0 since we're going after him.
Uh-huh. I ain't gonna send money walking straight to him. You come back alive, you get the full amount.
That just seems mighty unfair, but all right.
It's all right, Sheriff. I don't need no money for something that I ain't done yet. Some of us got values, you know what I mean?
I have many values. I'm a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you heard of the Hippocratic Oath? I've taken it at least 3 times.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, see y'all on the other side.
Philomena looks offended. Just mightily offended.
I believe No Merit kind of goes over to the sheriff and is like, Town of Resurrection was it hit recently? Was that why we're heading over there?
And he kind of looks at the 2 ladies and looks back at you, and he's like, I mean, yeah. But the ones that are still alive there will certainly be able to give you some more information. Hell, you might even find 1 or 2 of his gang members. Which, I should mention, the gang members ain't worth jack shit. So don't be trying to bring them in for a bounty. You're not going to get anything. But if you can wring out some information from them about where Bantam went to ground, it might be worth your while.
I think No Merit tips his hat and walks out of the sheriff's office.
All right.
I think Philomena's left there alone for a long moment, and she realizes she's alone, and then it's like, oh, guess I could go in then. And then just walk after the other 2.
Yeah. The sheriff tips his hat to you as y'all leave. I think as you're getting your horses ready to head out, the sheriff sends 1 of his deputies over with a bag of some hardtack. Clearly he might have felt a little bad about how hard he turned you down, Philomena. So he's like, might as well give him some food or some shit to keep him alive long enough to get there.
Those yummy hard crackers were good.
Hardtack is more like dog biscuits.
Yeah. Cracker, biscuit, same thing for me.
All right. You have passed ring 1. We move now into ring 2. As you make your way out of town, at the first crossroads you come to, there is a humongous white tree. It is the tallest thing on the plain for miles in any direction. And the white bark is marred with the jagged patterns left by lightning strikes and tongues of fire. And from a low branch, a person's body dangles with a rope around their neck. Why was this person hung here instead of in town, Philomena?
Because only real criminals are hung in town. This one was a petty criminal. Wasn't known, wasn't worth being made a spectacle of.
Buzzards have landed in the branches of the tree. There are enough of them that for a moment it looks like the tree's branches are writhing with these hunched, feathered bodies. But they don't seem intent on touching the body. They just kind of watch as it turns. No merit. What stories have you heard about these crossroads and those who die out here? Do you cut her down?
I think No Merit might know a thing or two about the crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
Carries himself like a man out of time occasion. And I think he does. I don't think he's gonna go as far as to like dig a grave, because like hell, we're in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't digging no sand for 8 hours. But I think he does cut her down. She have any sort of anything identifying on her?
There is as you cut her down, out of like her apron pocket, there falls a family Bible. It's not very large, but when you open the front cover, you see a hand-drawn family tree. And this woman's name was Martha.
Yeah, I think No Merit stashes that in his saddlebag.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly ain't doing her no good no more.
Is No Merit the kind to look to the Bible for answers?
Nah, but seems No Merit also understands that objects carry power in themselves.
Tina.
Yes.
As No Merit cuts Martha from the tree, you make the mistake of looking at her face, and you catch her eyes, which are still open. What do they communicate to you?
Ooh, Danielle, why?
I told you multiple times before this game.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's okay. I think that her eyes are filled with hate. Like pure and simple hate and animosity. Right down to the fact that like she's got frown line happening between her eyebrows. Like when that should be relaxed at this point.
All right. No Merit, you lay Martha in as much of a posture of repose as you can at the base of this tree. And as you all ride off, anyone who looks back can see the figure of the first vulture descending upon the body. And it seems that night that maybe the lightning-struck tree was an omen. And this comes to your mind as you cross along an arroyo that forms almost like a natural road through the valley into a series of narrow gulches where your horses are forced single file. Overhead, in the narrow stretch of sky visible between the gulch's peaks, thunderheads begin to roll in and cover the evening setting sun. The temperature begins to plummet, and then the storm hits. The steep walls to the left and right stream with sheets of water as the rain blows sideways. The gulch's floor becomes a river, dangerously strong. Whose horse loses its footing and spills its rider before being lost?
I mean, I feel like Philomena has it coming.
All right. Give me I think this is a good point to make our first risk roll.
Okay.
So everybody tell me how you managed to hold your own in this onslaught of water. And we'll take these one by one. So Philomena, as your horse loses its footing, what do you do?
I, being a person of medicine, gonna be my excuse for everything.
Uh-huh. As it should be.
A doctor.
Being a person of medicine, of education, medicine, and all of that includes, I think I would know, like, how to land in the least way for injury. That sentence makes no sense.
No, I get you. I get you.
You tuck and roll.
I wouldn't want to land straight on my feet because I could break something. I wouldn't want to put my hands out in front of me because I could break my wrist. I would know like how to maneuver myself. Now, whether I do it well or not, that's up to the dice. But I would know that, I think. And I think that the minute it starts happening, I'm already admitting that it's a wash, and I am not even trying to save face on the horse. If the horse wants to get away, the horse can run off. I don't care. I'm tucking and rolling.
All right. So you get 1 die because you're using one of your skills. You may take another die if you accept a devil's bargain. Do you want to?
Of course I do.
All right. Does anyone have any ideas for a devil's bargain? Anyone can throw them out there. I've got one.
The gear on that horse.
That's a good one. I have one that is, you cause someone else to be unhorsed.
Oh, that's also a good one.
That is a good one.
Let's see. What about she loses something on her person?
Something precious.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to take one of these devil's bargains?
Sort of leaning toward. Do I get to pick one of them? Like pick which one?
Yeah.
I'm sort of leaning toward unhorsing another person because it's just up the tension between this group.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm sort of leaning toward.
All right. So that is a second d6. You may add a dark die if you are willing to risk your character's mind or body.
I'm not going to do it this early.
Okay, so roll 2d6 and tell me your highest result.
4.
4. Your character succeeds, but there's some kind of complication, and this is in addition to your devil's bargain, of course.
So, sorry, which devil bargain did you pick, Philomena?
The unhorsing one.
All right. Who you
Great.
unhorsing?
Yeah, so Philomena, who do you unhorse as you lose control of your own steed?
So I would like to say it. I'm gonna just say it's probably Tina. I act first in dangerous situations.
I mean,
so-
I was going to pick Tina anyway because there's already Tina's already annoyed with Philomena.
But what if I'm an opportunist? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, no merit does act first. That's a good
Yeah.
I just do. This is how it works.
Okay.
I'm gonna give
I
you a
did
chance
not
to get your
stack up
horse
the-
back.
Yeah.
Sharon.
Okay. Okay.
But you are at the moment unhorsed.
Right.
As Philomena and her horse kind of are sent tumbling in the rushing water. Philomena, you manage to land in such a way that you don't break anything.
Good job.
you-
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
You do, however, drop something precious. What is it?
I think that she has a very rusted chain around her neck that holds a cameo.
Mm.
And because it's so like rusted and basically fallen apart, like I think the littlest sort of
Mhm.
tug on it could cause it to break.
Mm-hmm.
And in the kerfuffle, I think that the chain breaks, and she doesn't care about the chain. It's the cameo that she loses, that slides off
Right.
of the chain, and she loses it.
Right. It and your horse are flushed away with the water. The horse will eventually be okay. Will probably wander back to town at some point. But it is gone along with all of anything it was carrying for you. And your cameo is very quickly lost in the muddy water. Tina,
Yes.
you have been unhorsed.
I've been
What do you
unhorsed.
do?
So it's rushing
nay.
water.
No tomato.
Okay, so it's rushing water around us.
Mhm.
So the most important thing to me is is the horse swept away, or is the horse running away? What's the horse doing?
The horse is on the verge of being swept away.
Okay. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to do is make a grab for the horse.
All right. How are you doing that? What skill are you using?
Oh, that's a good question. Buffalo Hunter is hunting, tracking, and long shots. Petty criminal is opportunism. Being a myth, I've got finding something by scent won't work. Using the sun or stars to navigate accurately. The sky knows in the middle of a rainstorm. We could make the case for opportunism that
Mhm.
as I'm sliding down through this water, I grab for the reins and
Mhm.
yeah. So
Okay.
let's go with that.
All right. You see opportunities where others don't.
Mhm.
You get 1 die for using a skill.
Okay.
You can take a devil's bargain for another die.
Offer me some devil's bargains.
You lose your gun.
No. Anybody else got a devil's bargain?
you find something in the water.
Oh, that's a good
Ooh.
one.
That's very
I'm back in.
good.
Sorry, I had to my brain wasn't prepared to create devil's bargins before. But we're
Yeah,
back.
let's go with that one.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna roll these 2 dice. I got a 4.
4.
Seems,
All right.
seems not good. Lots of
So
fours today.
you are able to get a hold of your horse's bit, and steer it towards an area.
It's a horse, not a cat. Not a.
Stop that, Brian.
You steer it towards someplace where the footing is a little less treacherous. The water is still rushing around you, but it at least isn't taking you off of your feet.
Okay.
The process of doing this, the horse steps on your foot.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel a toe or two break,
Ugh.
but there's not much you can do about that.
Right.
And as you are kind of stumbling up this slope, you one hand on the horse's bit, the other one kind of like in the water to kind of scrambling on 3 limbs up towards relative safety. Your hand lands on the soft midsection of the woman from the tree.
God.
And
Are her eyes still open?
her eyes are still open. As you put your hand down, she kind of folds up as if, as someone might if you like winded them by putting your weight on their stomach. And she kind of folds up and you see these white eyes, which one of them is gone, being ate by the vultures. But the other one stares at you, and she still has that look of rage on her face. And I'm going to need you to make a ruin roll.
Okay, tell me how this works.
You're going to roll 1 die.
Mm-hmm.
And if that die is higher than your current ruin, you're going to add 1 to your ruin.
Okay, my current ruin is 3, so here we go. I rolled a 1.
Okay. So this happens, and what do you do?
I scream.
Mm-hmm.
And probably my horse freaks out a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and like hauls me off my feet some, and I scream bloody murder. And then maybe when I look back, she's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
All right. No merit.
What a
How do
shit
you-
show.
How do you deal with all of this that is happening?
Oh damn. Gotta say. All right. So water's rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm so good at sensing danger. I guess I don't know. I get me and my horse behind like a big rock, so we're kind of sitting in the,
Mm-hmm.
it's part in the water before us, so we're holding on. It ain't like we're swimming against the current or we're doing particularly great, but we're doing all right enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're pushing against the lowered curtain here behind this rock, and I see these other 2 chuck fucks dying out here.
Excuse me,
because
I'm digging through mud. I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, like it's your first time almost dying at the bottom of the canyon in a flash flood. Jesus.
Still got a horse.
Hmm?
At least I've still got a horse.
Listen, don't be judgmental. You touch dead body. That's super gross.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And so I think what No Merit is like, so over the sound of rushing water, and the storm itself, I think No Merit's like screaming, trying to get the other 2's attention, be like, hey, eyes up here, and starts trying to talk them through through this situation.
All right.
I am using my ability, which is, I know what it is. Shh, don't tell me. I got it.
What is it?
Standoff.
What
Yeah.
is it?
I'm using my standoff ability.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the peace so long as eye contact is maintained.
Contact's made. Yep.
All right. So that just happens. So you manage to keep your own horse under your control. After Tina stops screaming and is kind of looking around wide-eyed for the corpse that she thinks she saw, she catches sight of you, and Philomena looks up from combing through the mud for her cameo and catches sight of you, and you are able to get everyone to come together enough that you can make it through this. And I think that is where we're going to take our first break.
Can't wait to have to crawl up on a horse with my favorite person, Tina.
What makes you think you're not going to ride with no merit?
Because Philomena has to get under your skin.
Great. Great. This is going to be great.
All right.
I love it. Okay.
All right. We will be right back, folks.
All right.
Welcome back. We're back. What up?
Good. Great.
That's the kind of energy we're bringing into this horror game, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do you, I guess.
Yeah.
Please be careful with how you pronounce horror, because if you're not careful, it just sounds like horror. So,
Don't worry, the horrors come later.
great. Yay!
That kind of game.
Listen,
gonna
we
be-
celebrate sex work here.
Yeah, we do. All right. The next morning, you arrive covered in mud and fucking exhausted to the outskirts of Resurrection. How are y'all riding?
Well, I've got my horse.
Mm-hmm. I guess I was really
Please.
asking, Philomena, are you walking or are you riding on someone's horse?
I am not walking. Refuse. Throw a hissy
Yeah.
if it's even brought up.
So hear me out. Tina, since she is a hunter, her horse is going to be a smaller horse, more like kind of almost pony-ish, because it needs agility and sturdiness and that type of thing. So
No, she totally hopped up on whichever horse was available. She wasn't going to argue about it. She just wasn't walking. And rode side saddle because she's a goddamn lady.
So, yeah.
means that she's
Nomare
falling
always-
off the rump of this horse.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Totally.
I mean,
She-
Nomare almost certainly has like a big draft horse because he's not.
Yeah.
He's got the sports utility horse.
That Philomena probably cannot jump up on. So yeah, it's Tina's small quarter horse. And
The Goldilocks of horses, and we lost the normal one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
All right.
like you keep sliding off, so you're like clutching onto the back of Tina, who's just like hating you right now because you won't fucking ride like a normal human being.
She's just, I'm in a skirt. I can't.
What's wrong with your legs? Listen, you can just ride with your skirt up. Nobody here gives a shit.
Just Philomena arguing the whole time about
Yeah.
decorum and the lack thereof.
Yeah, I think we get to the outskirt. Like Nomare has just been quietly trotting ahead of them until we get to the outskirts of the town, and I think he stops and he turns around and he goes, "This is kind of an important situation. Now there ain't no way in hell any one of us is bringing this sumbitch back by ourselves. None of us are that level of skill. But I'm willing to abandon this and leave the pair of you in a shallow grave. If you don't get it together when we head into this town."
One
know,
thing that could possibly unite Tina and Philomena is that threat right there.
Philomena just
Casual,
stared.
this is with I said, "I will kill you."
I've been threatened many times in my life.
Never quite so calmly or scarily.
And I've never quite taken them seriously because I'm still here. But you don't speak to a lady like that.
Well,
I might do things that are not ladylike, but that doesn't mean I am not a lady, and I will not be spoken to like that.
listen, you ain't taking no threats seriously, and you've gotten through them, but I also do not believe that you can see the future.
Well, I never said
So.
that I could.
You can spend that barrel if you want to, but we need to put on a nice united front here, figure out where the sumbitch is gone, and move through. Because the longer we spend doing this, the more distance he puts between us and him. So, go find some information. We will meet back. Is there like a obvious landmark here in Resurrection?
Yeah, just up ahead by the entrance to the town is a graveyard.
I ain't ominous or nothing. Well, we'll meet at the graveyard at, I don't know, a little bit past noon. Have fun,
Wait,
ladies.
I'm taking orders from a man skinnier than a rail. Just gonna slide off the horse.
As soon as that happens, as soon as you slide off the horse, Tina's gonna kick her horse up and like kick dust into your face and like barrel ride past No Merit and into town.
Pointing in Tina's direction. I'm not the problem.
You certainly ain't the solution either.
You got me there.
No. God. Are we gonna murder each other? We are gonna murder each other by the time this is over. That's what's gonna happen.
Boy is back.
No Merit, do you ride quickly into town like our dear Tina, or do you go at a steadier pace?
I'm probably steady, listen, town's not that big. I don't need to be there that quick. Fuck that.
All right.
This horse is tired as shit, almost certainly, so.
Mm-hmm. So you and Philomena then come up on this graveyard just outside the front gates at about the same time. There is a pile of bodies on a cart. And a young gravedigger is, one by one, slowly pulling those bodies off of the cart and throwing them unceremoniously into newly dug graves. And he looks up at the sound of your horse, No Merit. And he says, "That firecracker came round here a second ago with y'all?"
Yeah, we're loosely affiliated. Busy day at the office?
Oh, you know. Y'all looking for Bantam? And he eyes your weapons.
Certainly could be. And I think No Merit sort of like he's got okay, so he's sitting on the horse, right? Mm-hmm. Hands folded in his lap, holding the reins and everything, and he notices the guy's eyes drift down to his holster, and he just gingerly takes two fingers and gestures up to be like, no, look up here.
I think that Philomena doesn't look like she's armed because she has her syringes, and I think that she has one of a small gun tucked up her sleeve, like a very small gun.
Yeah, Derringer sort of deal.
Little Derringer, yeah. But she is getting close to these bodies and has pulled a pair of glasses out of her pocket that are cracked. Like one of the lenses is cracked, and she's inspecting these bodies, just going hog wild.
Okay.
I like that.
The gravedigger gives you a look, but doesn't say anything. And turns his attention back to No Merit. And he says, "Well, we ain't usually got many visitors, except those that are here to rob us," and he kind of gestures at the bodies, or those that are looking to bring in a bounty on those what robbed us.
Y'all get robbed often enough that this is a regular occurrence, or?
We just don't get that many visitors, really. And he kind of gestures at the bodies, and he says, "These are the bodies of some of Bantam's men. As you might tell by the fact that I ain't give a shit about them. But, you know, just between you and me, Bantam can come through here more often if it's gonna pay as well as it did." And he pulls a hand out of his pocket, and it's full of gold teeth. And he kind of like tosses one up and catches it back, sticks the pile back in his pocket. If you want to help me make this work a little lighter, I'll make sure you have a place to hang your hat this evening.
Just to make the situation a little bit more uncomfortable, Philomena has unrolled the pack around her waist, and it's like scalpels and stuff, and she's one step away from autopsy in one of these bodies.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nomer glances at her and is like, all right, well, this is happening, I guess.
Yeah.
Might as well happen today.
Love the chance for education. Always a chance to learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
Did, kind of gestures at the big pile of bodies. Did all of his men meet an untimely fate, or did some of them just get grievously wounded?
2 of them managed to not get themselves killed. They're recuperating up in town. I can introduce them to you later. But, you know, it's the damnedest thing. We lost several of our own, of course. I've paid their respects already. But, you know, we must have fired a whole armory's worth of bullets into that gang. And every single one seemed to find one of these motherfuckers. And not Bantam.
Curious coincidence, that. Well, tell you what. And he, like, he's like, I will leave my, enthralled companion here to, help you with, you know, your day's work. Now be nice to her. She's a proper lady. And I'm gonna go check on them two fellers who maybe need a face to help brighten up their day.
Mm-hmm. He kind of like waves you on, and nods, and turns to you, Philomena. And he says, all right, you can set one aside if you want to autopsy it or whatever the fuck you're doing. But we got to get the rest of these in the ground so I can actually get lunch at a decent time today.
Philomena, who has, up until this point, not been paying a lick of attention to what's happening around her, looks up, realizes no merit's gone.
I was banking on this.
And he just goes, I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh,
What?
name's Belly.
Belly.
I don't believe I know you, Mr. Belly. What do you mean? I'm not gonna bury these bodies.
He opens up his jacket and shows you that he's wearing a sheriff's badge that appears to be smudged with a dark brown, reddish substance. And says, I don't think I was asking.
Well,
I'm
now.
gonna make a rash decision here.
Uh-huh.
using either my misdirection or medicine skill, I'd like to get closer, like I'm examining the sheriff's badge,
Mm-hmm.
sort of dusting it off a little bit, and just oh, all right. And then I want to stick him with one of my syringes and knock his ass out.
All right.
Ooh.
Sounds like you get at least
damn.
one die. Are you looking for a devil's bargain?
No, I'm just gonna roll one.
Okay.
I rolled a 5.
5. All right. That's not the worst it could be. So
Still be bad though.
so you notice so two things happen. The first thing is as you do get closer, you notice that the name on the badge is definitely not Belly. You get the impression that this dude recently became the new sheriff when he buried the old sheriff.
That checks out.
The second thing that happens is you stab him in the thigh with one of your syringes, and he goes, "What the fuck?" and then knocks out. And as he falls down, he kind of collapses into the shade of the cart, and he. As he goes down, you hear a whisper from behind you.
Don't like that.
That says, It says, now that's the kind of thing that gets a gal noticed around here.
Mm-hmm.
I just
But
whip around to see if I can locate the voice.
nothing there but bodies.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh.
figured.
Jesus.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
I do want to take all the gold teeth out of his pocket, though.
Okay. You can do that.
And then just want to hightail it out of that area into the town.
All right. You do that. And with that, you are out of ring 2 and into ring 3. All three of you come in. Huh?
Did I just like bugger off? Okay. Cool.
So,
Yeah.
there, as you come into town, y'all three come in at 3 different times. And I think, Tina, where do you go first?
The saloon.
Okay. So you head to the saloon. And the barkeep looks up when you walk in. He looks surprised, but quickly covers that surprise in a professional smile. And he says, "Hey there, miss. You out here hunting something?" And he glances at your rifle.
Yeah, I'm a hunter by trade. Just out getting skins and what have you. But what I'd really
hunter stuff.
just hot girl stuff. It's a living. But what I'd really like right now is a drink.
All right. He nods and his smile gets a little more genuine. And he waves you over to the bar. And pours you a drink.
What is it?
It is. I mean, it's probably just like a watered down ale kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And he hands it over to you. The glass is pretty clean, honestly. Cleaner than you might expect from a saloon this dim.
The alcohol cleans it.
Yeah. And there are a couple of other locals who are also bellied up to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And as you sit down, you can hear them talking about, Resurrection's going to be a boom town one of these days, and they're going to put a train station here because they're going to reopen that mine down yonder. And man, won't that be the day when we have some money pouring in from outside. We ain't just passing around the same $10. The piano player begins to play. What do you do? Do you continue to drink?
Continue to drink.
Okay.
Tina is exasperated.
Mm-hmm. A very pleasant buzz settles over you as you are handed progressively less watered down ale. Because the bartender determines that you're a decent kind of folk and you're worth not cheating out of some alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it's the damnedest thing, because right about the time when things are getting like you're lagging, things are, the world is lagging a little bit behind your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize that the bartender just, like, every once in a while he'll ask you a question, and then one of the people next to you will ask you a question, and it just kind of keeps going, like, what good is gold if it only turns into liquor and then into piss?
It's like philosophical questions.
It starts out that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes, if you captured Bantam alone, I mean, the bounty's great split between 3, but alone, hell, you wouldn't have to worry about anything ever in your life again.
And I sure would be a bad motherfucker, wouldn't I?
Yeah. Can you imagine? They'd be singing your name all across the land. Kind of like they do Bantam. You know how much power a name like that gives you?
I mean, I don't want that kind of shit. I just want to live my life.
But sure be easier to live your life if you had more money, wouldn't it?
I mean, that's the way it is with everybody.
If you got the chance, do you think you could do it?
What an interesting question. Is there something that I can roll here to figure out what's going on?
You can try. Sure.
Are they literally talking to me, or is it just like I'm hearing them but their mouths aren't moving?
It's hard to tell. Because like I said, the world is kind of lagging, and so you see them like speaking to you. But it's like the words don't quite match what their lips are moving like.
Uh-huh.
So it's hard to tell if like you're hallucinating or if they're actually asking you these questions and you're just like the sound is just offset enough to be confusing.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, where's the outhouse? Sure is that time.
Mm-hmm. And the bartender gives you directions to the outhouse. And when you step out into the night, or into the... It's not night yet, because it's morning.
Ooh, day
I think...
drinking.
Yeah, I think more time has passed than you thought.
Uh-oh.
Like, you were supposed to meet back at the graveyard at noon, and it's like mid-afternoon. But as soon as you step out of the bar, you still feel the weight of that buzz.
Mm-hmm.
But the kind of cloying sweetness to it is gone. And it's just a normal buzz.
Well, that's weird. All right. Do I see No Merit or Philomena anywhere around?
Well, let's see what No Merit got up to while you were drinking.
Okay.
No Merit, what have you got up to while Tina was drinking?
Well, I'm assuming that these injured fellas, they're at the sheriff's office. That's where you normally put ne'er-do-wells, even hurt ones. Fortunately, I guess there ain't no sheriff in here. So I guess No Merit puts his horse on the thing and walks in. No Merit doesn't wear spurs. He doesn't wear things that like announces coming. And short of the guns on his hips, he's pretty normal looking fella, except for being 1,000,000 feet tall. But I think he walks through the door at the sheriff's office, kind of sticks his head in, is like, anybody home?
I think you see behind the bars of the small jail that's here, you see like an arm lift up from someone who's laying down, but they're laying down on a bed that's behind the desk, so you can't see who's laying down. You just see their arm kind of pop up and kind of give a little slow wave.
Are they in the cell, or are they?
They are in the cell.
All right, I think No Merit comes over to the cell. Who do I have the pleasure of finding inside this cell?
So there is a woman and a man in the cell. The woman is laying down, has got some tightly wrapped bandages around her thigh, and she's got a hat kind of placed over her face in the way that you place a cowboy hat over your face if you're wanting to like shade your face and sleep. And she's the one who raised her arm. But the hat is ringed with the rattles of snakes, and her hair is limp with sweat because she's clearly struggling to heal, especially in this heat, especially in a jail cell.
With little to no attention, I'm sure.
With little to no attention.
All right. Well, damn, ain't you two a sight?
And the man looks up. He looks, he's wearing a buffalo cape, and he's got like a straw hat, and like a loose white shirt that is just soaked through also with sweat. And he stands up when you come in, and he says, you got business with Snakebite?
I think I got business. I mean, I assume with Snakebite. I'm taking it that since you're all quick to jump to the thing, the Snakebite's actually in charge here. I'm assuming you're Snakebite. What with all the snake paraphernalia you got going on for you?
The hand kind of lifts up and waves again.
All right, yeah, I feel you. Listen, I'm gonna be straight with y'all. You two are in a not a great situation, but you ain't who I'm after. I think he flashes a marshal's badge that has just a huge fucking bullet hole through it. And then drops his coat back over it. I'm looking for Bantham, plain and simple, and you two are looking like you maybe need a friend. I can be that friend for you. I'm gonna be straight with you. I'm gonna immediately stop being straight. I'm gonna be straight with you. Everything that I'm about to say is a lie.
Snakebite takes the hat off her face and kind of, with great effort, levers herself up onto one elbow to look at you. And she says, "You're headed after Bantam?"
That's the plan.
We are also headed after Bantam. But we ain't got a ride. If you're willing to take us there, we'll show you the way.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I don't necessarily have the kind of pull I think to get both y'all out of here.
I think Snakebite laughs. We killed the sheriff.
Well,
Shot the sheriff.
I talked to the sheriff on the way in here. I mean, I imagine he's newly appointed. No Mayor has no idea. For the point, he has no idea that the kid is the sheriff. He's just he's just telling whatever lie is going to get him to the next step of the process.
Yeah. She says that if that kid's the sheriff, is because he looted the badge off the sheriff's body. Which, more power to him, I guess. But the point is, folks just stuck us in here because they didn't know what else to do with us.
All right. One moment. I think he walks out. He leans out the door. I leaned away from the microphone when I did that. He leans out the door. How bustling is this tiny little slice of heaven here?
Not a decent number of them were just murdered. And you see some folks going in and out of the bank with construction equipment to repair it. It looks like the saloon has got a fair few folks just hanging at the bar like you do. There is a house of repute over on the corner that it's too early really for anyone to be frequenting. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of people walking around.
All right. Are there any keys? I guess I'm going to go look in the desk. Are there any keys?
Oh yeah, they're just sitting in the front desk.
All right. Okay. So I think No Merit walks over to the cell. He's like, all right, so just to get it straight, he kind of points at Snakebite. You're the one in charge here of your little duo, right?
Yeah, but Amos ain't going anywhere without me.
All right. I mean, that's fair. I think No Merit pulls the single action arm because it's smaller of the two, and he shoots Amos dead in the middle of the chest.
Jesus Christ.
I wasn't lying when I said I wasn't taking both of y'all.
Snakebite blinks at you. And it's like the kind of slow, lazy blink that happens when someone just isn't quite following everything that's happening because they're just sick out of their mind.
Right.
And she kind of blinks down at Amos and blinks up at No Merit, and she's like, "No, you didn't have to go and do that."
I didn't want him saying nothing. And Nomer opens the cell. It's like, you moving under your own power, do I have to carry your ass?
She gestures at the thigh wound, and and she's like, I can't fucking walk.
I think he like leans down and he like picks her up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he also grabs a pair of handcuffs. He's like, listen, we gotta keep up appearances till at least we get the hell out of here. Slumps Snakebite over the back of his horse.
Mm-hmm.
Makes great haste toward the outside of town because he's like, I'm just gonna leave a message for the other two. They'll meet me outside. Like, I'll probably pass one of them.
All right.
Holy shit.
Philomena. Yeah. After that happens,
I watch westerns a lot, so
yeah. No, it's after that happens, you come into town, having convinced the now sheriff to take a nap.
Like
what do you do?
He'd been working hard. He needed a little nap.
Uh-huh.
Well, I was going to. Am I coming into town when I see No Merit schlepping out of town?
Nah, there's a cloud of dust going towards the other exit to the town, but that's you don't see that it's actually No Merit.
Gotcha. So how you said it was too early for anyone to be in the house of ill repute. That's exactly where Philomena's going.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, she's going there, and is going to sidle up next to the first nice lady that she sees.
The woman looks over at you, and she says, "Well, hey there, sugar. You look like you might need a real good shower. How about I help you with that?"
Any other time I might take you up on that offer, but actually I had a couple questions, if you don't mind me asking. I will. She takes out a couple of the gold teeth. I have this to offer.
She takes them from you and disappears them somewhere into her clothes. You have no idea where they went. It's like a magic trick. And she says, "What can I help you with, sugar?"
Happened to spend any time with a distinguished gentleman of, I guess, also ill repute, named Banton.
Well, I don't know.
say much iller repute, frankly.
She looks completely unflappable this whole time. And she says, "Well, him and his boys did come through here a few days ago. They made a right racket. I can't really say I spent a whole lot of time with him, but I mean, it's hard not to exchange words with someone who makes that much of a presence in your town."
I would imagine that someone with such loyalty to their town would maybe share the information about where that person might be going if they happen to know it.
Well, he ran off in the directions of the mines. I hear he left behind a couple of his followers alive. You might want to check the sheriff's office for him.
That's, I think that's already been, we're not worrying about that right now. Did, any talk about reasons why he was, I mean, I know what a mine is for, but, any other reason he might be heading that way? Any reason why, he didn't didn't take a single wound in a shootout in the town that lost you so many people. There's more where those teeth came from. If that happens to jog any memories.
She'll hold her hand out.
Drop a couple more teeth.
And she disappears them to where the other ones went. And she smiles a smile that is just this side of unsettling. And she says, well, people say a lot of things about Mr. Bantam. They say you can shoot dead at him and the bullet just deflects away. It's the damnedest thing. Why, I saw our sheriff, may he rest in peace, shoot Bantam from no more than 5 feet away, dead in the face. And now our sheriff, he was a right shot. That's part of why we made him sheriff. You know, he could shoot a can off a post from 30 yards away. But just as soon as he made his shot, it seemed like his right hand fell over dead. And Bantam weren't any worse for wear. Man's followed by a shadow. The devil watches over that man. You mark my words.
Well, that is quite a story. Thank you for sharing that with me. You have a wonderful, wonderful day, ma'am. And if I'm ever back in this part of the town, I might take you up on that shower offer. I'm gonna go now. She's gonna walk out of there.
When you
with like a pep in her step.
As you turn around, you think you hear behind you in a voice that is not the voice of the woman you were just speaking to. Like as you're walking out of the door, you hear someone ask you, now who do you think is going to be the first one to betray you?
Immediately goes, well, that Tina, I don't trust her. And she keeps walking.
Listen, to date, Tina has not yet shot someone in cold blood, okay?
I mean, doesn't know that no man did that.
All right. So
I'm just a humble cowboy. I do not know what you're talking about.
I think, Philomena, you're coming out of the brothel. And you realize, similar to how Tina did, that, man, that can't be right. The sun is much further down than it could possibly be. You were not in that building that long. And yet it's mid-afternoon. And as you are walking out of the brothel, you see Tina come out of the saloon and head around back towards the facilities. What do you do?
Look up at the sky and just go, oh, damn it. And then I'm going to follow after Tina.
All
I think she goes like, she's like shuffling her little feet. So like there's a little bit of dust around her feet that she's just like shuffling over really quick. Not exactly running. Yeah.
So, Tina, what are you doing?
Going to the outhouse to pee.
Okay. After you have finished your business and come out of the outhouse, you see Philomena coming around the corner with a little bit of pep in her step.
Oh, fuck. I'm too drunk for this.
Are you drinking in the middle of the day?
Listen, it's the morning. Thank you very much.
Do you not drink in the middle of the day?
I am a woman of medicine. Of course I don't. I have patients and things to attend to during my day.
I would think that a woman of medicine would know that it is not safe to drink the water, and the alcohol cleans the water. It's how you get hydrated. Thank you very much.
I don't think anything you just said was right. Where's the other one?
You mean no merit?
I guess.
Okay, well, I am not his keeper. I was gonna hunt him and you up right after I took a leak, and I'm done with that. So,
Well, we were supposed to meet each other at noon. It's clearly past noon. I learned information. Have you learned anything?
no, except that maybe don't drink in there. I'm gonna use Brother Coyote's gift to attempt to find no merit by scent.
Okay. So you pick up his scent easily.
Mhm.
More likely you smell his horse. And the smell of blood from snake bite. And it leads you first to the sheriff's office,
Where we find the dead body.
where you find the dead body of Amos, leaking his lifeblood out onto the floor. And you pick up the scent again, heading out of town. The opposite entrance from where you came in.
Looks like our friend No Merit sure did get up to something.
You have no proof? Smells are not admissible in court.
Could you maybe not ride side saddle? Like, could you just... Nobody gives a fuck about your knees.
I happen to give a fuck about my knees, but all right if it'll keep you from complaining.
Good. Because here we go. Hang on. And they gallop off into the... After No Merit.
Yeah. I don't think No Merit necessarily left without them. He just got out of town, just
Yeah,
in little
okay.
ways.
Philomena, before you, as Tina is getting her horse from outside of the saloon, you're waiting by the sheriff's office.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a poster up on the outside wall of the sheriff's office. It's a wanted poster. And you recognize the face that's in the photo. It's not Bantam.
Tina?
It is No Merit.
Oh, shit.
And out of the corner of your eye, the shadow next to the sheriff's office moves and drags a claw down the poster's front, like across the pictured No Merit's cheek.
Is it a chicken claw?
Oh, hell.
Yeah, it sure is.
Oh, shit.
You did that to yourself. I don't. And before you can even think about it, the poster is tugged free from the wall and folded and placed into your pocket. And that same voice that you've been hearing, the one that isn't the sheriff's and isn't the woman in the brothel, says, "Now, wouldn't it be easy to add this bounty to the Bantam reward? I mean, you could make him think you're working with him. Go all the way there and back. And just before you reach town, I mean, he should trust you by then, right? Should be easy to put a bullet in his head."
Did No Merit's poster say dead or alive as well?
Yeah.
That changes things.
And then Tina comes back with her horse. And when you look around, there isn't a nail on, like, the nail that was holding up the poster isn't there, and the shadowy figure is gone. But when you put your hand in your pocket, there's still a folded piece of paper.
Well,
And we're out of ring 3 and into ring 4. We're going to take this opportunity to take another break.
See y'all in a bit.
And we're back.
And we're back.
We're back.
So as Philomena and Tina catch up,
Oh,
that's
God.
their ship name.
What if? Oh no! I feel, Katie. I feel like we have built this energy that people
We
are
really
going
have built the enemies
we're
to
enemies to lovers. There was only one bed.
Only one
There was
horse.
There's only one horse.
There's only one horse. Oh God!
You meet up with No Merit outside of town. He's got a woman strung out over the back of his horse.
I think once we get out of town, I maybe help Snakebite sit up proper.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tourniquet her leg.
Yeah,
I know that's not.
Philomena was
for
going
her
to see
long-term.
that and be like, you need some help, No Merit, with your new acquaintance?
Is that what we're calling them these days? Is acquaintances?
I don't know what else to call it. I don't want to be offensive.
I think No Merit glances over his shoulder at Snakebite and then back to them like, we're all right for now. You two are coming out of there pretty hot. You learn anything fun, or you make more enemies?
More enemies? I ain't made no
I
enemies.
assume you got one or two. Calm down.
Jesus, I don't make no enemies. All I had was a drink. Jesus.
And I think me and Tina here are both under the impression you shot somebody?
I don't remember shooting nobody.
As far as I left the sheriff taking a wonderful nap in the graveyard, and that's not a euphemism.
It sounds like you shot somebody now.
He was genuinely taking a nap. He was a very
Tina
fine man.
looks back at Philomena like, what?
I believe you are projecting. That is unfair to me.
No body, no crime. There's a body in the sheriff's office.
Well, that is terrible to hear.
Listen, No Merit, like, I guess the jig is up. I tracked you to the sheriff's office. There was a fresh body there.
This one
And I
got
smelled-
a nose on her.
And I smelt this'n's blood. And then here you are together. So either she killed that man in her condition, or you did. Do you have a different explanation? I mean, I'm not going to judge. I'm sure you had your reasons, and I don't give a fuck as long as we get this job done.
Then why are we discussing?
That's a great question. Let's get on with business. Who is she?
Well, this is Snakebite. Snakebite, say hi to Philomena and Tina.
Snakebite is leaning like with one forearm like across your shoulders, No Merit, to kind of like lean forward on you. And she lifts her hand and gives like a half-hearted wave.
One of the ladies at the brothel said some very interesting things about Banton. Mostly that the sheriff was within a couple of feet of him to shoot him, and all of a sudden his shooting hand just slumped over, just couldn't shoot anymore. I think we might need a plan to combat that.
Is shooting hand what they're calling it these days?
It's a medical term.
I don't think that it is.
Are you a doctor?
Speaking of doctor, I feel like that lady might need, I don't know, something.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's drawing flies.
You got something to and he basically took like a strap off of like his saddle, and he's tourniqueted her leg to keep her from bleeding out. He is fully aware this is not a long-term solution for her. I think we've proven that No Merit is not terribly caring at this moment. Philomena, you got something, put a little pep in her step?
I mean, I got something to take the edge off. Are we Do we need her?
Well, Snakebot here has similar goals in the fact that she too is looking to go find Bantham.
I didn't buy in for dividing this bounty up more than 3 ways.
Well, you want to find one of the hardest to find criminals who apparently cannot be shot all on your lonesome with no heading. By all means, but I believe Snakebot here could probably earn her keep.
I mean, in the state she's in, I don't really think she can, but I'll do the best that I
Oh,
can.
come on, she's a trooper. What you got?
Snakebite pats your shoulder, no merit.
Yeah. I think No Mare also delivers that like she's a trooper's line, what you got, like with a steely edge to it. Like he's like, we ain't discussing this. Like, pull out whatever, I don't know, old-timey cocaine tincture you've got going on and let's go.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Philomena does. Just basically gives her something. It's not going to help with the process all, but it's going to take the pain away.
Yeah.
So she
I
won't
need
even
her
notice
cogent.
it.
I don't need her functional.
Yeah, exactly.
She thanks you. She's not she is not unaware of the situation that she is in. She's just kind of beyond the point of caring.
At some point, Philomena's just like, later if you have to have an amputation, I'll do it for half price. No big deal. Take care of that for you. Friends discount.
No merit. I think she kicks the haunches of your horse to make your horse go on ahead. At least a few steps away from Philomena. Like, you get your horse under control fast enough, but like...
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, all right, I get it. Listen, I'm not a nice guy, but I'm not, but I get it. I think as we're riding, No Merit's like, all right, so we ain't gonna shoot an unshootable man without a plan. So what we got here?
So you want to shoot the man with the plan?
No, I want to create a plan to shoot the man.
Well, I can, if I get close enough to him, I mean, I can put him to sleep. I do have things that do that.
Well, my concern is that whatever, I don't know, skill and or witchcraft that he is using to not be shot by bullets probably applies to, I don't know, sedatives.
You never know. Some things are stronger than the devil.
Snakebite laughs.
Blind, just like bullets. I got my old machete right here.
Which
Listen,
also includes getting close to him.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's true. Listen, I don't think we're gonna be able to make a plan knowing as little as we fucking do. Why don't we just go on?
Because I like continuing to walk the earth.
Snakebite laughs again.
So she can do what now? Find him? What?
I think he like looks over his what's our head in Snakebite?
She sits up to kind of like peer around your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And she squints for a minute, and then she points in a direction where if you squint, you can just see what looks like it might be smoke rising on the horizon.
Tina is going to take a big whiff and see if she can find it. I guess to confirm the location that Snakebite has said is that in fact where Bantam is.
I think it's been a few too many days for you
Has
to
it?
get a really good sniff of it.
Shit.
Unless you want to try to make a risk roll.
Ooh. We could try to make a risk roll.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
so how many dice do I get? Just one.
So you get one
Uh-huh.
for hunting,
Uh-huh.
and you can take a devil's bargain for another.
Does the smell situation, the
No,
the myth ability help at all?
no.
Okay, what's the devil's bargain?
Uh, you stumble upon something dangerous.
Like I take us into something dangerous?
Uh, not collectively, just you.
Just me.
And
Okay,
it's like, yeah,
Oh, why not? Here we go. Whee! I rolled a 6.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Uh, so you take a deep breath, and let it out, almost like divers will do, like free divers when they're getting ready to dive really deep.
Huh?
Um, and you pick up on that whiff of smoke. Like the wind changes direction and blows it in your direction just enough that you can get the whiff.
Mm-hmm.
And you smell smoke and burning flesh and burning hair. And the scent of it jogs a memory for you. What is it?
Ooh. Hmm. Um, the memory is that outlaws burnt my family out of our homestead, and I was the only one to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
And the memory comes on strong enough that you aren't paying as close attention to your horse's direction as you should be. The horse is still following No Merit in the general direction,
Mm-hmm.
but not in a straight line. And you hear the rattle too late.
Oh shit.
And your horse spooks as something strikes out from the bushes, and knocks you and Philomena off of its back as it runs. And Philomena lands on a rock and has the wind knocked out of her.
Mm-hmm.
But you, Tina, land in a nest of rattlesnakes.
Oh shit.
What do you do?
Machete.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's one die.
Uh-huh.
You can take a devil's bargain, or you can use a dark die.
Let's use a dark die.
Okay. So die number 1 is your regular die. Die number 2 is your dark die. Go ahead and give me a roll.
Okay, die number 1 is a 5. A dark die is a 4.
And remind me what your ruin is.
3.
So, you jump up. It's in that kind of supernatural way that someone can seem to levitate off of the ground when they find themselves in a snake's nest. And you cut the head off of the snakes. And you think you do it quick enough before they bite you.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty sure you do it quick enough before they bite you.
Mm-hmm.
And you stand up and you brush yourself off and you take a few deep breaths to kind of return your heart rate to normal. Philomena, you pick yourself up off the ground, and you seem none the worse for it, maybe a bit bruised. Your horse is just a little ways away. You're able to get it back very easily.
Mm-hmm.
And Tina, you are checking yourself over. You don't see any bites. And adrenaline can make you miss things, but I mean, you're wearing desert clothes. You got long sleeves and long pants and boots on, and then you look up, and there are 6 buzzards in a perfect circle flying above you, gliding the hot updrafts. And each one of them has one normal dark eye, and the other one is a milky white, like the eyes of that woman.
Okay.
And you get back on your horse.
I think No
And-
Merit turns around and is like, y'all okay? Are we going to have to switch people's nicknames? Are you Snakebite now?
Got nothing on me, cowboy.
Well, we'll find out between 6 and 40 hours if she got bit or not.
I mean, I would
I'm glad that it's real quick for us to find out.
I would be bleeding. Would I not be bleeding?
I don't know. Hell, I ain't ever been bit by no rattlesnake, so.
I would be bleeding, right? I mean, I'd be bleeding.
I mean, it's a possibility. You're probably fine.
Whatever.
And you continue on.
I mean, you'll need to reach medical help within 30 minutes, but it will take roughly 2 to 3 days for your body to shut down, according to Google.
Great, thanks.
That's all I know about rattlesnake is like 2 days.
Google that oracle that was available.
My to 4.
Yes, increase your
Okay.
ruin to 4. Mhm.
Hooray.
Welcome to the club.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The 4 Ruin Club.
You ride out into the scorching afternoon as the sun begins to set. And No Merit.
Yeah.
You come across and not an oasis, but like a small outcropping of trees and shrubbery that seems slightly more concentrated in this area than it is anywhere else. And you think it might be a good a place as any to find some shelter for the night, because you didn't sleep last night, and you got to sleep sometime. You don't want to go up against Bantam without any
sleep deprived. That makes sense.
I know No Merit is probably in the long line of Brian characters that don't sleep ever. However, so you come up on this small. I'm gonna keep calling it an oasis, and yeah, seems sound enough. You stomp through the shrubs, make sure there aren't any snakes hiding, and there don't appear to be. And as you're doing that, underneath a twisted tree is a small lean-to. And under the lean-to is the leathery, mummified body of a person whose mouth is full of dry soil. A leather string leads out of the soil and down their chin like the dried root of a withered plant.
Pull that string. Pull that string.
Huh.
Somebody donate $10 to make No Merit pull the string.
I mean, several people have donated $10 for chaos.
I get down, I squat down in front of the body, and I'm like, man, this seems real weird. You know who loves real weird dead bodies? Hey, Doc. Come over here for a second.
Yes, she goes over there. She loves weird dead things.
Play the cards you're dealt.
God damn.
That's myself. I have to sleep in this bed that I've made.
What do you make of this?
Well, I think it's a dead body.
Well, I damn sure hope.
Can I?
I'm talking about the kind of gestures to his mouth.
Yeah, she kneels down. Can I tell roughly how long it's been dead? Or is it very mummified?
I mean, at some point, it's just a mummified body.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Long enough to have been mummified.
What if we don't touch it?
Well, it's too late for that, Tina.
There's too much freaky shit out here. What if you don't touch it?
What do you mean freaky shit? I haven't encountered anything weird, and I'm gonna pull the string.
Oh, Jesus.
As you pull the string, the dirt kind of wells up out of the body's mouth, as something inside kind of pulls it out with it. And as you pull this leather cord, you think back to a time that you delivered a breech birth. Whose was it? You okay?
Yeah.
My sisters.
And you remember bringing that life into the world, and helping your sister in a time of need and being able to do measurable good. And you remember, untangling this baby and putting it in its mother's hands. And then the thing in this body comes loose. And it is a withered heart that you blink and is it beating? No, it can't be beating. But you grab it and you can feel it pulsing in your hands. Give me a ruin roll.
Ooh, that's fun. That's fun. Okay. So I want to roll under what my ruin is?
Correct.
Well, I didn't do that. I rolled a 3 and my ruin is 2.
Okay. So you dissociate for a hot minute.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
And when no merit is still beside you, question mark?
I mean, mostly, yeah.
Mostly.
And he kind of like, you good?
Yeah.
And you come
I mean,
back
I
to
also
yourself.
see this heart, right? Like, this is a physical object, right?
Wow, it's the damnedest thing. It's a leather pouch.
Oh, neat. Sick.
Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder if there's weird gold in it.
And Philomena, you kind of come back to yourself, and it's a leather pouch in your hand. And when you open it, there's pyrite in it.
Like
And
the
you,
mineral pyrite?
yeah,
Yeah.
like the fool's
Gold.
gold. Yes.
Cool. Yeah. Cool.
And you kind of empty it out into your hand, and it is a hunk almost the size of your fist. And you look up at No Merit. Only, what was his name again? You're pretty sure you were traveling with this man.
Chickabaki, you got a picture of me.
You think you were traveling with this man? Yeah, you must have been. Why else would you be here sitting next to a dead body pulling something out of its mouth if you weren't somehow...
Seems like weirdly specific situation to just find yourself in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Normal
I've been
thing.
in a lot of weird situations, but this is very specific.
Yeah.
Just normal stuff.
And then from over back by the horses, you hear Tina call out No Merit's name. And you're, oh yeah, right. Of course, it's No Merit. Of course, it's No Merit. It's been No Merit. You and No Merit and that other woman are traveling somewhere. Yeah. Increase your ruin by 1.
Yep, I did that. Yep.
Who? Okay. Well.
Sorry.
I don't know who any of you are. You're strangers to me now.
Mhm.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
That night, Snakebite gets delirious. You have traveled far enough at this point that you can see pretty clearly the campfire in the distance. Or not the campfire, the smoke in the distance. So like you're like you can tell that this is where Snakebite is leading you, is in that direction. Which is good because she's gotten to the point where it's hard for her to stay lucid. And
I think Philomena has been like feeding her drugs
Mhm.
every
Mhm.
hour on the hour.
Yeah. And it's gotten to the point where like if you try to give her any more to keep her lucid, you are going to outright kill her. And maybe that's something that you want to do, but at this moment, she begins to talk about Bantam. And she talks about how he just was never the same when he came back from that crossroads. How before that, he was just a larger than life kind of man who was inspiring and just really good at shooting people and leading people and planning, and I mean, he was a very good outlaw. But he went out to the crossroads when he heard that the lawmen were closing in on their location. And when he came back, it wasn't the same. He would walk into a firefight like he had nothing to lose. Couldn't miss a shot with his pistol if he tried. It was terrifying. But it was much better to be on his side than not. And she says, I think, though, that the devil's luck may be running out. Because I don't think he got out of that last firefight completely unscathed. And then she kind of falls asleep.
Well, that sure is some information to have.
Nice. Well, I think No Merit takes the mummified body, tosses out a little lean-to, puts her in the little lean-to. It's like, maybe she'll be alive when we come back. Let's see what happens. If she is, I'll grab her. If she ain't, whatever. And I assume we'll sleep, sleep in shifts, the deal. You points to the doctor. Like, Doc, you probably go first. You seem like you're having roughest time.
She's been talking to herself the whole time.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, this is going good. All right.
Tina, those buzzards haven't left you the whole day.
Great.
Yeah.
Tina's been shooting at him.
God, if y'all get me killed.
Tina's been shooting at him.
Every once in a long while, you'll hit one. And it will kind of careen off into the desert. But, it seems like the next time you look up, there's 6 of them again. It's the damnedest thing.
And they're even flying at night?
Yep.
Great.
You can tell because of the way that the stars disappear behind their wings.
Great. 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 Tina does not mention this to anybody else.
Just randomly firing out into the sky. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. This is fine. So it's just Tina and No Merit right now on watch. Is that true?
I mean, I guess so. Usually how watch works is one person stays awake and the other ones go to sleep.
Okay, so who's got the first watch? No Merit.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well then, Tina will try to sleep.
Yeah, I've not had nearly as busy a day as you all. I only murdered a man.
The night passes fairly uneventfully.
Oh.
Fairly?
Yeah, I mean, when you wake up, Tina, there are those buzzards circling.
Great.
And Philomena, when you wake up for your shift, you nearly stab the person who wakes you up because who the fuck is waking you up? This is a stranger.
Right to the neck.
But you stop yourself at the last moment. And that you recognize around you like a campfire and the trappings thereof and like all of your things, and like this person doesn't appear to be wielding a weapon at you, and it wouldn't make any sense for them to be attacking you. Yeah, no, these are your traveling companions. That's it. Yeah.
They didn't ask for drugs. I'm not gonna force it on them.
Yeah.
Lord.
I think No Merit hands Snakebite a canteen.
Mhm.
It's like, well, if you're still here when I get back, I'll pick you up.
Mhm. She kind of looks at you and says, "Think twice before you listen to the devil at his back."
I'll let you in on a little secret, Snakebite. I've heard a whole lot of devils talk a whole lot of things. Don't you worry about me none.
She tips her hat
Now
and
kiss.
leans her head back.
Yeah, I only brutally murdered her friend.
Yeah.
She seems fine.
She's too tired to give a shit. If she had more energy, she would spend it on being angry. But she doesn't have the energy to be angry.
Okay.
Yep. So you all ride out. And it takes most of the next day. The sun is again beginning to set when you reach the gold mine and the abandoned camp just outside, known as the Golden Door. And similar to the lightning-struck tree you saw at the beginning of this adventure, vultures line the trees, and the smell of burning flesh is thick in the air. As the horses pass among burnt tents, bits of fabric flutter weakly in a breeze that does nothing to clear the lung-stinging haze hovering over the camp. Two of you have a Reuben score of 4, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. No merit.
Yeah. I've definitely avoided all other rolls up until now.
The miners used to dream here in the tents and work below. When they stopped and demanded more for their labor, strangers, quote-unquote strangers, came in the night with kerosene and matches and denied them that. Who gave the order to torch the camp? What did they dream of deep in slumber as the miners burned alive in their beds?
Ooh.
Well, who gave the call? That's pretty obvious. It's the mom boss.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second. I'll generate you a name for that son bitch too. Maddox Crabtree, mine boss.
Oh, I love that name. That's a good name.
Thank Danielle and the NPC generator they made. He dreamed a rich, full vein of gold lies beneath these hills. What was gonna bring him the easy life further out west when he got to San Francisco. That's what he was dreaming about.
And to whom did the miners cry out as they were met with stout clubs when they tried to flee their burning tents?
Oh, hell, damn near anybody. God, the devil, anything that listened.
And what is the name of the spirit that actually answered them? Who gathered them up and plucked their souls from the fire?
I don't think it carries a name, but it's familiar when spoken.
The miners are watching you. You can feel them in the darkness, in the shadows of the fluttering canvas. The silhouettes stand out amongst the cacti. You can hear the sound of dragging shovels and a burnt husk of a mining cart creaks, and you watch it move along its inclined track without a mule to pull it. And along the ridge behind you, you see dark forms carrying lanterns watching you. And
Ruby.
as No Merit, you act first.
Yeah.
You see a pickaxe coming at the three of you, thrown out of the darkness, black as glass. What do you do?
It's a pickaxe, right?
Say again?
It's a pickaxe, like a full-ass pickaxe.
Yes.
All right. Well, it's probably got too much weight for me to shoot it out of the air like a badass. So I think No Merit dumps off his horse, like just dumps to the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's coming at me. Hopefully, it ain't gonna hit my horse, but it ain't gonna do the horse no good if I get hit with no pickaxe either. So, so I think he just unhooks from like one stirrup on the saddle and just dumps himself sideways.
You hit the dirt, and your horse spooks and runs off. And the pickaxe passes through the air where your head was and buries itself. The whole... What the hell is one side of a pickaxe called? It's not a tine. What is it?
A pick, I guess. Like, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. It buries like half a pick deep in the wood of a post behind you.
Yeah.
And the other two of you have now noticed that the smoke around you is thickening, and it's making it hard to breathe or see as more things are thrown at you. Sometimes it is a pickaxe, sometimes it is a lantern, sometimes it is a shadow flaming, coming screaming out of the night. A dark figure in overalls lurches out of the dark. The miner's face is blackened, raw, and cracked, and his eyes are liquid pools of gold that run down his face like tears, his mouth open in a soundless cry. What do you do?
Is this directed at all of us?
I'd like to hear.
them?
I'd like to hear from them first.
Okay, fair enough.
Do you want to go first, Philomena?
Yeah, sure.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
This is fine.
Philomena is strangely... Katie's freaked out, but Philomena is strangely calm in this moment. Like she's disoriented. Like this is definitely weird, but she's like not freaking out or anything. And I think as the one comes like bouldering toward them, she just sort of stands and holds her arm out and like flips her little derringer out and is going to try to shoot him point blank in the forehead.
Okay. Give me a roll.
Yeah. Can I have what does the dark dice do? That's your ruin, right?
It is. You are risking ruin
I'm gonna
in
I'm gonna
exchange
risk
for an extra
ruin.
die. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Okay, so I rolled a 2 and a 5, and my ruin is a 3.
So you shoot this man in the face. And he staggers back, and then stumbles forward. And there is a hole in his forehead that is now oozing gold, just like his eyes. And it has given you enough of a moment that you can put a little bit of distance between you and him. And you turn and look at your companions. No, you didn't come here with any companions. Who are these people here with you? It doesn't matter. You need to run away from these specters. And up ahead of you, you see the open mouth of the mine, which seems to be the only path of escape as these miners close in around you. Tina, what are you doing?
Do I up my ruin from that?
Yes, you
Okay,
do.
thought so. Okay.
Great. Okay, so this creepy ass sumbitch is lurching towards us. There's other shapes coming out of the smoke. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Philomena has just buggered off into the mine, and No Merit is on the ground, having narrowly missed getting skewered by a pickaxe.
Yes,
Am I right?
you are correct.
Okay. So, let's see. Still on my horse.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get off the horse, get the horse between me and danger, and shoot with the rifle at the big creepy man.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, what am I rolling? So I've got Buffalo Hunter gives me skill in long shots.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So does that mean I get 2 light dice?
You get 1,
1. Okay.
and you can either take a dark die for an additional, or you can take a devil's bargain for an additional.
And once I get to 5 ruin, that means that I start turning on the others.
That means that the only way to reduce your ruin, you may begin to try to reduce your ruin by turning on the others.
Oh, okay. Okay. What offer me a devil's bargain?
You will... I think this is a good situation to offer that you will lose your gun. Considering this man just took a bullet to the face like it was nothing.
Oh, he took a bullet to the face like it was nothing. You're right, he did, didn't he?
Or if you really don't want to lose your gun, it might just be like jammed really bad or something.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Because guns like that, like they jam up. I guess I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they absolutely do.
That way you don't lose your gun, but you still have a consequence. Like you won't be able to use it for a couple of rounds or something.
Mm-hmm.
What if I roll a dark die instead?
Do it.
But it will definitely, like, if I need it to succeed, then it's going to take me to 5.
Correct.
If your ruin roll is higher than your current rolling. What did you roll?
I rolled a 2 on the light die and a 1 on the dark die.
Well, on the plus side, you don't gain ruin.
On the plus side, you don't gain any ruin.
Sabotage us just yet.
This is fine. This is fine.
So you bring your gun up to fire on the burning man in front of you. And You fire once, twice,
Three times a lady
into this man's chest.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that happens is he has more holes from which to bleed gold.
Great.
And he closes in on you and grabs your arm. And that smell of burning fills your nose. And you are once again transported back to your burning home. Give me a ruin roll.
I got a 4.
A 4.
And my ruin is right now at 4.
Okay. I think it has to be over your ruin in order to...
I think so too.
Yeah, I'm under the impression that's how it works.
Yes, it needs to be higher than your current ruin to increase your ruin. So you, for a moment, are paralyzed by that sense memory.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wrench yourself away and stumble toward the mine entrance.
Mm-hmm.
No Merit, what are you doing?
I'm heading for that that mine entrance like hell. I'm just gonna move. I got roughly 12 shots on me, and I don't want to use all of them on these fellas.
Mm-hmm. As the three of you stumble into the mine, the sounds of the wailing and the burning fire and the shovels and the picks fades back just a little bit. Like you are ensconced in... Like the darkness is itself muffling the sound. And from inside the mine, as you enter, you hear a voice shout, "You the law? You sure are fucking terrible at sneaking up on folks. If you think I'm alone, best think again. I got bullets for all of you, and hell ain't even half full." Bantam...
Nah, but I'm sure they got a good place waiting for you.
And you go into the mine. Leaning against a wall near a guttering lantern, Bantam holds his side, his shirt slick with blood, sticking his shirt to his skin and dripping to the floor. The room smells of gun smoke and death. Crumpled bodies litter the floor, some with the sneering faces of now former members of Bantam's gang, their betrayal interrupted. Some with the starving features of bounty hunters who got here ahead of you, their twisted limbs perhaps pointing the way to your own grim future. Bantam shivers, but his gun hand is steady, supported by a dark shadow behind him that whispers in his ears, clasps his hand, and guides his aim. The stories are true. The covenant Bantam forged at the crossroads, a formless devil mimicking human shape, keeps Bantam upright, even as his life drains away. Bantam's bullets don't miss, they say. Anyone who fights him will die, they say. They say a lot of things. If you die here, would anyone even know? Would any of your companions live and carry the tale of your death back to anyone who would care? What do you do?
So we're drawn down on.
Yes.
All right. I think No Merit is assessing the situation. He's like, if you would allow a dead man a couple of questions, I'd appreciate it.
Bantam and the Shadow nod in unison.
I take it You're responsible for the bonfire on outside.
He shakes his head.
Is that yes? Shake yes or no?
No, shake no.
Oh. Ah, so you just found this place like this.
He coughs, and he says, whatever happened to the men of this mine is a stain that is not on my conscience. But it sure has stained the earth, hadn't it?
Sure has. Sure has. 2 more questions for you, Bantham. What'd you ask your devil for?
He kind of sways on his feet. And you hear, each of you, in your ear, a voice. Philomena, this voice is familiar to you. And you can see the shadow's lips moving as you hear this whisper in your ear say, the same thing all men want. Power.
All right. I think he kind of No Merit sort of glances over at Philomena, then glances over at Tina with a look that says, yeah, some shit's about to go down. And I think No Merit sort of rolls his neck and he goes, all right, last question for you, Bantham, and I'll let you go for the day. You think you can cock that hammer before I can?
Wait. I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If we just back the fuck out of here and leave you the fuck alone, can we just go? Because this is some fucked up shit.
Philomena, the voice whispers to you, there's enough gold here. There's more gold here than Bantam's bounty could ever pay. You wouldn't even have to go through all the trouble of taking Bantam's body back to that podunk little town. I could help you. We could forge a new life.
I think this whole time as the questions have been being asked, things like that, Philomena has been rolling a syringe in her hand, and she just stabs it into her thigh.
Her own thigh.
Own thigh. And I would like to use Gila Monster's gift as she starts to weep blood. She
Can you read that move for me in particular?
Weep blood to intimidate, disorient others.
Who are you trying to intimidate and disorient?
I believe there are 3 people in this room.
Well,
it just hits all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she steps forward and looks at the both of you and she says, now I'm not one to leave a man in his state injured. And she's just gonna slowly back up toward Bantam.
All right. I think, all right, counter move. I think, well, all right, so, I have...
Just do it, Brian, just do it.
I have lead touch, which means I can stop you from moving. I think quicker than seems possible. Because now you're between me and Bantham.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not in danger of getting shot by Bantham. But I am in danger of having you do something real stupid. So I think quicker than seems possible. No Merit like draws and fires like dead center between your feet, like mid step.
How does this work if I'm disorientating you, though?
I
How
guess so.
Oh,
do the
wow.
feats work against feats?
Yeah. I guess I feel like there's a roll
There's
here.
gotta be. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm fine with rolling.
I think the
Yeah.
feat is what's allowing me to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm gonna roll. You got Devil's Bargain for me.
um,
I'm cool with just rolling off with each other. We want to see what works.
Oh, I
That's
figured
valid.
since you started it, like I'm having to go again, like I have to
Cool,
succeed
cool.
or fail against you.
Cool.
Yeah,
the
my
Devil's
GM
Bargain.
brain is kicking in. So
Yeah, no, you're good. The Devil's Bargain is that. I have a thing here that I want to do, but it's not a Devil's Bargain territory, so I have to think of something else.
what is the thing you want to do?
I will. I will DM you.
Okay.
I really do like that Tina's just like, I want to bounce. I want to get the fuck out of here.
I think I'm just I'm just gonna go.
I'm calling my dad. All these kids, they're drinking dad.
Bye. It's been
Tina, are you
great.
running? You can run.
You can go fight all the fucking weird gold zombies outside. That's
What
fine
if-
by me.
Okay, Tina is gonna take this opportunity when those two are like focused on each other to kind of like duck out of sight, but she's not completely running yet.
Okay, yeah, you kind of back up into the shadows as Philomena is kind of edging towards Bantam. And Brian, the Devil's Bargain that I'm going to give you is that Bantam will get a shot off.
How does damage work in this game? Okay,
Ambiguous hand gesture.
cool. Yeah, sure. No Merit's been shot a lot of times before, by particular by feisty redheads, it would seem.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll take that Devil's Bargain and I'll roll with my dark die. Fuck it.
Okay.
Okay. So let's roll the 2 dice that aren't gonna fuck me up here real quick. Yeah. And then we'll roll the dice that will fuck me up here real quick. Okay. I got a 5. The dark dice was a 1.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, Philomena, tell me what is the result of this shot that No Merit gets off? He's aiming for between your feet.
Mm-hmm.
What happens?
I think it genuinely puts the fear of God in her. If that's fair to say.
I don't think there's anything like that down here, but okay.
I mean, fair. Yeah, just yeah. I think that like she's not seeing clearly because she's weeping fucking blood. So everything's a little offset, and she's hearing these voices in her head, and she doesn't know truly who these people are. She's just been going along, and I think she sort of falls to her knees, and whatever she has taken, I think that it's sort of like somehow it's having a reaction on her that she's frozen in fear of No Merit, and I think like it's the first time that she's really felt that.
And then another shot rings out in the cavern. And you see Bantam's body slump to the floor as the devil steps over towards Philomena and kneels in front of you and lifts your chin to look into its sightless eyes. And it says, I can take away your fear. Just say yes.
Well, I didn't expect this to happen.
Would you like a slight rebuttal
Uh-huh.
from everyone? Oh, Tina, I believe you need to make some sort of decision about all this wild bullshit.
Okay, so the devil is wanting to marry Philomena? This is literally the devil.
It's a devil.
It depends on. I mean, it's a pact for her soul.
For her soul.
But sure, you could consider that marriage, I guess.
But that will definitely mean. But our bounty is now dead.
Yep. Which we could just take. He's dead. We didn't have to kill him.
If the devil lets us out of here alive.
I mean, I'm gonna say spoiler alert that I don't need. Philomena's gonna say yes.
Okay, Katie. Hey,
yeah?
I just met you, and this is crazy.
Do what you want.
But what if I shot Philomena from cover and to keep her from going to the devil?
I mean, she really wants to go to the devil, but it's fair. Do what you want to do.
And it's my last gift to you. Because oh Jesus. Okay.
I feel like Glenn can tell you I'm all for just go fucking hog wild.
Okay.
What the fuck? I mean, frankly, what are we doing after the session?
I don't know. Nothing. So hey, I've got Buffalo Hunter and I've got this rifle.
And let me tell you, I don't necessarily, unless you like really whip the shot, a buffalo rifle is gonna put somebody down at this rate.
I'm gonna use a dark dice. Is there a devil's bargain? Or can I do both dark dice and devil's bargain?
You can.
Your bullet only makes me stronger.
Oh God.
You get to see firsthand why or how bullets seem to miss Bantam.
Oh. Okay.
God, that's a big caliber cartridge. Holy shit.
I'm not going to take the devil's bargain. I'm just going to do the thing. But I am going to use a dark dice.
Okay.
Here we go.
This motherfucker is a 52 caliber. Sorry, I'm just looking up buffalo rifles now.
Okay.
The most popular of which is a Sharps rifle.
My dark dice was a 4. My light dice was a 3.
Okay.
And I have 4 ruin.
Yeah. So Katie, what happens?
Does the shot hit me?
It's a 4.
Okay, I don't know what numbers mean.
Okay, it's
a mixed success.
It is a success with consequences.
I think that the bullet 100% hits me and I fall over. Not dead, but like
you got shot with a 52 caliber ball.
Barely breathing, that popular song, you know?
Yeah, you're dying.
Yeah. But I think the devil did not like that, and he will remember it. Like it's a telltale game.
Good shit. Now, if you will allow me some narrative license, I'm going to narrate us into an ending here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Philomena falls over, and her blood begins to soak the soil along with Bantam's. And the devil whips his head around, and you see him lock eyes with you, Tina. And you see it like tilt its head just a little bit, like a dog that is trying to understand a sound it's hearing. And then it comes back to its feet, and it turns its attention back to No Merit. And it tilts its head in the other direction. And it says, "Ah, I see you have already made a pact of your own."
Oh, shit.
And then it disappears. And you are left in a dark cave, surrounded by gold and also 2 bodies. And when you leave here, Tina, you are excited to breathe fresh air again.
I'm taking Bantham's head. I didn't come all this way to not get paid.
Yeah, no, I figured, yeah.
Okay.
You can take as
I'm
much
not going to take the whole body, yeah.
Yeah, you can take as much of the gold you want, too.
That's not mine.
Okay.
Oh, you have those now?
Hell, it ain't the mine bosses either. Don't worry, I've got another name on the list after I cash Bantham in. Don't worry.
Oh my god.
And as you exit the mine, the specters that chased you into it are gone, although the smell of burning flesh still lingers in the air. And Tina, you look up, and those vultures are still circling.
Uh-huh.
With me today has been Brian.
Jesus.
Aw. I was gonna say Tina should ask No Merit what he asked his devil for.
Oh my god.
Tina doesn't want to know. Tina just wants to go home.
Tina just wants to go be a cowgirl again. She's done with this shit. Go ahead, Daniela. Outro us.
So.
Brian, you've been Brian.
Yeah, I've been Brian.
Where can people find you?
Well, unfortunately, I'm just gonna stop being Brian.
Please don't.
You can find me and the Room Where It Happened on the internet at RoomWherePod. If you're still hanging out, then you're probably aware of our normal shenanigans. But if you're here for the first time, we're about to start our new season 3 in April. We're going to be playing Urban Shadows, a fun kind of like urban fantasy with horror elements game set in a county in Appalachia that I definitely isn't just the place that I live with the serial numbers filed off of it. But come check us out. That's at RoomWherePod. And cool. Thank you for coming and giving money. We really appreciate it, everybody.
And Katie.
Hi everyone. This was great. I enjoyed every single minute of this. I had so much damn fun. I always have fun when I come to these games, so I'm always happy to be invited back. I'm Katie. You can find me on Twitter, everywhere on the internet at KatieFace. Anything that I do, I post about on my Twitter. I'm a professional DM. When I'm not having a mental breakdown 24/7. But yeah, thank you for having me. This was great.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you.
Yeah.
And Shannon.
Hi, I'm Shannon. Boy, this was a journey. You can find me on the internet at Big Mom Energy, although I'm not really posting on Twitter hardly ever at all because the world is a hellscape. And I am also on The Room Where It Happened. I have in the past played Tessa, and I have played Molly, and I'm about to play somebody cool in this upcoming game. So check
It'd be
us
weird
out.
if you played just an absolute dork.
Well, maybe she is, but maybe it's cool that she is. Anyway.
Yeah, and I have been Danielle. You can continue to find me on the internet at RedTailTalk90. Come talk to me about this game. I had a whole lot of fun DMing it. And check out all of Standing Stone's projects. You've heard about The Room Where It Happened. Check out Follow the Leader, which is a GM-less actual play podcast where they tell some really phenomenal character-driven stories. Check out Dumb Kids Playing Hero, which is an Animorphs-inspired actual play podcast that I am extremely fucking proud of. Check out Gay Space Rocks and Escafil Files, which are our media analyzing podcasts where we talk about children's media like it's still fucking relevant, because it is. And yeah, follow the guild on Twitter at stones_standing. You can find out whenever we're doing more of these fun streams or any other projects. That's it. That's all we've got for you. This is the end of our 12-hour stream. Thank you so much for
12
being
and a half
here.
hour stream.
12 and a half hour stream, whatever. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate all of you. Thank you so much to those of you who actually donated. And those of you who didn't donate, thank you for supporting us by being here and listening to us tell stories. It really sucks to tell these stories to an empty vacuum, so the fact that there is an audience here really does mean a lot.
It's true.
Thank you. Have a good night or morning or whatever time it is where you are. Be good people.
Peace.